As already presented in the introduction, all buildings have the same agents of decay. They are, however, different concerning design, structure, materiality, and location. We should also clarify the difference between alteration and degradation. Alteration means a change in the material which may not make it worse. Degradation means that the material deteriorates. Traditionally built buildings were designed to allow the movement of water, liquid and vapor around and through the facades while keeping the buildings watertight. The general behavior of traditional construction materials towards the environment is determined by two factors. First, porosity, and second, the mechanical properties of traditional materials such as stone, brick, and mortars. They are rigid and fragile and perform well under compression. Traditional buildings are particularly susceptible to damp problems. There are four types: capillarity, condensation, hygroscopicity, infiltration, or accidental causes. Pores can be very small. Diameter can be less than 1 micron, 1 micron being 1 in 1000 millimeters, and these very small pores are called capillaries. If the water-to-water attraction is lower than the attraction to the surface of the pores, water is drawn to these capillaries. The smaller is the diameter of the pores, the stronger the suction force is, and thereafter the higher the water rises, offsetting gravity. For example, in pores of 1 millimeter diameter, the water rises in the wall to a height of 31 millimeters, and in a 0.2 millimeters diameter pores, the water reaches 154 millimeters. Also, it's important to consider that water rises more in cold walls oriented to north, and that 1 cubic meter of masonry can contain as much as 300 kilograms of water. When a building is in use, water vapor is produced and moving around the building. It condenses on cold surfaces within the building. Hygroscopicity or hygroscopic quality means a hydrophilic surface of pores can attract water molecules which become absorbed on the surface. The smaller pores favor hygroscopic absorption. It is possible then the relative humidity of the air is above certain value. This depends on the nature and porosity of the material. Infiltration due to defective roofs and/or unmaintained rainwater system is very frequent. And these are the first issues to be addressed in any conservation project. The case of ruins is even more challenging, as water infiltration from exposed wall heads is more severe. Water mobilizes soluble salts, which are a principal agent of decay in porous building materials. They can remain dormant for long periods and then become active suddenly. Soluble salts are particularly hygroscopic. Their damaging effects are intimately linked with wetting and drying cycles at the masonry surface. As the drying evaporation occurs, salts crystallize, producing the characteristic white crystals known as efflorescence. Another important agent of decay is the human action, starting with atmospheric pollution and chemical attack. For example, there is a direct influence of pollution in stone decay. Previous repairs could also affect the condition of a building and its materials. In the 1930s, Portland cement mortar, reinforced concrete, and stone clamps made of unprotected steel was used in the restoration of the Acropolis, which damaged the original marbles. It has taken many years of expert architectural conservation effort to address this problem. Humans also introduce environmental changes, vandalize buildings, and provoke intentional or accidental fires. The poor quality of the original material and inadequate original construction influences also the deterioration of buildings, as well as organic attack, vegetation, mosses, lichens, insects, pigeons. Alterations of the surrounding area and/or poor ground conditions are causes of deterioration. Vibrations by traffic and other sources also damage buildings and should not be underestimated. Natural disasters, such as earthquakes, flooding, and hurricanes, can also have devastating effects in buildings. Apart from the building fabric, traditional buildings include valuable internal decoration and artworks, such as paneling, handrails, stained glass, and wall paintings. They should be protected, and their study requires specialists to assess their significance and condition.